Hi, I have a question here from Malcolm, who took my 21 Copywriting Hacks course. So here's his question. He asks, I've taken your course and I'm using the final checklist you provided. My question is, can I add some hacks of my own to the list? Things I found work well for me. Hey, great question, Malcolm. That hadn't even occurred to me. I love this. I love it when people come back to me with questions and kind of open up areas of thought that just hadn't even occurred to me before. Anyway, yes, you can add your own hacks. So just for, if you're watching this and you're not familiar with the course, let me just give you a quick backstory so you understand what we're talking about here. So the 21 Copywriting Hacks course is basically a group of hacks that it's a list that I've developed over the years. And there's one group that you use to improve your headlines, one group of hacks you use to increase the persuasive power of your body copy, and a last group of hacks that you use to make sure your call to action is as strong as it possibly can be. So these are kind of copywriting tips, copywriting hacks, but specifically targeted at various points in every page or screen of copy you create. Then at the end of the course, there is a checklist. And on the checklist, it's a one-page checklist with these 21 hacks. And the idea being that when you write copy, but before you send it to the client, you pause for a minute and you hold this list of hacks against your draft and just work across, like headline, is it as strong as it can be? Body copy, is it as strong as it can be? And so on. It's a kind of last chance checklist before you send it off to the client. So Malcolm is saying, within that context, with that checklist, can he add some hacks, some tips of his own? And I think the answer to that is yes. So I think there are a couple of different types of kind of hack you can add to that list. One of those that address your points of strength. So if you know you're particularly good in some aspect of writing body copy, for example, then sure, add that hack to the list, the kind of body copy part of the list, so that when you are kind of cross-referring to your draft, you make sure that you're addressing that point of strength. The other thing you can do is do the opposite, and that is add hacks that address your points of weakness. So for example, in my case, I've always been pretty strong with headlines, pretty strong with body copy, but unless I pay attention, I can kind of tail off a bit towards the end when it comes to the call of action. Sometimes I can slow down a bit, I kind of lose momentum, which is not a good thing. So I'm aware of that weakness. So in my case, I might actually add a hack in that third group relating to the call to action to remind me to check that the pace of the copy hadn't slowed down at all as I was approaching the end of the page or the screen. So yes, add your own hacks, Malcolm, addressing your strengths or weaknesses, or a combination of the two. So one caveat, and I've talked about this in another video, and I'll link to that video down below, and that is about the number of hacks on your list. So I've said I've got 21 in the course, and it's the checklist at the end is one page. You can print it out on a single sheet of paper. I could probably write 101 hacks, but the trouble is, if I did that, I would never use that list, and you probably wouldn't either, because it's just too long. So right from the beginning of writing this course, I've decided, hey, the number of hacks that I'm going to do need to fit comfortably on a single sheet of paper, so that you can just hold it up and cross-refer to the copy you've just written. So that's my caveat, Malcolm, is that yes, add your own hacks, but keep the list to a manageable length, say 25 hacks max. If you're going to go beyond that, then I think you need to start cutting out some hacks to introduce one of your own. So basically, yes, and I love this idea. I love the idea of this being a kind of growing list that is personalized and customized for your own use over time. But like I say, just that one piece of advice, keep it manageable, keep it on one sheet of paper. Otherwise, you may find you have a wonderful long list, but that you are using it less and less frequently because it's just too long. Okay, thank you. Hope that helped.